As many of you may know, workforce is the new economic incentive for business. So when we're trying to recruit companies to the community and to the area and help our existing employers expand, workforce is always a major component of that. How do we find the talent? What does the talent outlook look like? What does job creation look like in the future? And in the past, we've relied on historical data and mostly the state of Iowa data, to make predictions about workforce up until this last year. So I think it was back in January, right, Kristen? Was it January? The beginning of 2015, we partnered with Northeast Iowa Community College to have access to a database called EMSI, or EMSI, which is Economic Modeling Specialists International. And the database basically aggregates about 90 different public and private data sources to give us quarterly information, historical, economic, education, labor data. The two major sources are the Bureau of Labor Statistics and then IPEDS, which is where all the colleges have to report their completion data. And so that's been a game changer for us as far as workforce goes, because we can make some pretty accurate predictions about what our labor force looks like even 10 years out. So right now we can project up to 2025. In the past, we've always talked about the looming shortage of baby boomer, or how baby boomers will be retiring, how we're going to eventually have a workforce shortage, and we always called it the perfect storm. Now we have data to really back that up. So I won't get too much into prediction data, but just to give you an example, our employment in Dubuque, our MSA, over the next 10 years is projected to grow at about 9.5%. Within the region, we're supposed to grow at about 9.7%, so Dubuque is a little bit under that. The state's projected to grow at 10.6% and the nation at 10.3%. So what we can do with that data is say, okay, if we grow about 1% in employment over the next 10 years, we grow about 1% each year. And so I can with confidence say that I would predict we would grow by about 500 to 600 jobs within the next year. That's data that we didn't used to have at our fingertips. On the flip side, we can look at working age population, and we define working age population as ages 15 to 69. And we can see that our working age population is predicted to decline slightly over the next 10 years. So, within the next year, I'd say our working age population would remain fairly flat. When you put the two together, you would see that when you have an increase in employment and a decrease or flat working age population, you're going to have some labor shortages over the next 10 years. So we can accurately predict those shortages. We can predict what industries we're going to have skills gaps. We'll have a whole report that's going to be released at the very beginning of December that will highlight some of this information. But we're a much more educated and informed group when it comes to workforce and mitigating workforce shortages. So we've always been watching the trends and watching what's on the horizon as far as labor shortages go. The advantage that Dubuque has is that we've been able to put different programs and like our newcomer services, accessDubuqueJobs.com, Opportunity Dubuque with NICC. These are all programs that help fill that skills gap. And now we can say, all right, our shortage is CDL drivers or electricians, or we can pinpoint what the industry is and then partner with groups like NICC to have short-term certificate programming to try to fill those gaps.